WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Selena Schaefer. A Columbus man's new capital murder trial will begin next week. Derek Bankhead was convicted last September in Lowndes County Circuit Court. However, Judge Lee Coleman overturned that verdict. Bankhead's attorney learned that District Attorney Scott Colomb was a stand-in defense attorney for Bankhead during a preliminary hearing in 2011. Columbus police say Bankhead's cousin, Eddie Bankhead, was shot during an armed robbery back in July 2011. Nearly 2 children every minute of every day. That's the number of child abuse cases reported each year in the United States. Those numbers also hit close to home. Just this past week, abuse arrests were made in both Monroe and Webster counties. WCBI's Jory Talley has more on some of the signs of child abuse.
Somebody has to protect these children when the parents do wrong. And I'm not saying that it is wrong to discipline your child in any way, shape, or form. You need to discipline your child in a reasonable manner.
There's a range of severities and cases.
A single parent household, it seems like it occurs more. I don't have any kind of stats to, back that up, but it does seem like it occurs more in that situation. That in households where narcotics are involved. Usually narcotics and that type of situations usually kind of come hand in hand.
Chief Deputy Jeff Mann says most cases they see involve parents being at their wits' end with their children.
It's bad to say, but I don't think any community is safe of it. And a lot of times what it boils down to is sometimes it actually is a decent person wanting to discipline their child, but they involve anger in the situation. And usually when they involve anger in the situation, that's when it escalates past what it should.
It's those cases which cross the line that hit home for law enforcement. Webster County investigator Landon Griffin has worked 2 child abuse cases since he started working at the Sheriff's Department a year ago.
Most child abuse cases that we have are coming in from family members, neighbors, aunts, uncles, grandmothers that know the family, that know something's wrong with it.
You have proof?
And some have proof, some just have allegations.
That's exactly how Griffin's second child abuse case unraveled earlier this week, when someone came by the Sheriff's Department with a video of Stephanie Wofford abusing her child, landing her in jail with 1 count of felony child abuse.
Felonious child abuse with some bodily harm did intentionally, knowing, recklessly, unlawfully, and feloniously cause bodily harm to a child.
Griffin says one of the keys to stopping abuse is for people to step forward.
If you know about child abuse, you've seen child abuse, and you know what's going on and you don't report it, you will be arrested for condoning child abuse also.
And Wofford is still in jail on a $50,000 bond. Well, a popular Tupelo restaurant is being ordered to pay $16,000 for failing to pay music license fees. Broadcast Music Incorporated, which licenses most music for most artists along with 3 music publishing companies, sued Steele's Dive and owner Jason Steele last year for violating music licensing rules. Steele failed to answer the complaint. Today, a federal judge awarded the damages in a default judgment. Steele and his restaurant must also pay $8,000 in attorney's fees. Well, it's now time to turn it over weather for our first look with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, how's it looking out there?
Hey, Selena, right now in Columbus, 66 degrees. We've had a few showers around, but the temperatures will be cooling later tonight with this front moving on in. Those of you watching in Lamar County, it was great to see you over there in Vernon programming weather radios earlier today. We do have some showers and thunder showers exiting into Fayette County. Also a pretty good little cell there southeast of Houston, and you can see this additional line of storms and showers back to the west. These are a little bit on the strong side, but nothing severe out there. Some thunder and lightning, some good downpours, perhaps a little bit of small hail. We'll clear it out tonight. Tomorrow, behind the front, look at this, sunny and cooler, highs in the 50s. Details are coming up.
All right, thanks for that update there, Keith. Well, the Mississippi State women's basketball team is having the most successful season in the program's history. The Lady Bulldogs have been ranked in the top 10 most of the season. Our Quentin Smith talks with fans and students about the success of this year's team.
The Mississippi State women's basketball team is playing a brand of basketball that's giving fans everywhere something to cheer about.
I think it's the best. I look at people and say, hey, I go to Mississippi State. My team's like #1, #2. We're the best. We're great.
Just from like having classes with some of them and just hearing how they talk,
like going through the off season, they was like they're gonna have a real good year this year, and we got some bad girls on the team.
The team is currently ranked second in the coaches poll. They have 27 wins on the season, which is just one shy of the school record. And if they capture a W on Sunday, they'll have a share of the conference title.
When girls play, it's just outstanding to me. Like, I love to see when women can do what men can do.
The girls are very physical, which is fun to watch, and just to see them outmuscle and outplay everyone is very exciting.
However, the excitement hasn't always been this high. Just ask Martha Phillips.
I remember when we used to come, especially one Sunday afternoon, we were sitting here at halftime and counted 64 people in the stands.
Phillips and her two sons have been faithful fans of the Lady Bulldogs for over 2 decades now.
Well, I mean, we've always enjoyed them. It was special. Coach Fanning let us come to practice. The practices are open. And they were like big sisters to my sons. They were little, like 4 and 7.
Phillips says cheering on the Lady Bulldogs this season has been an incredible ride, and she's happy to finally see the women's basketball team reach this level of success.
Very happy for these young ladies, but also I hope all the other ladies from the past realize it's their win. Every win is all of them, because they all worked hard through the years to make us where we are.
And this Sunday will be senior day for the Lady Bulldogs as they take on the University of Tennessee. Tip-off is set for 4 p.m.
A summer-like sunset across our area today, but the summer-like temperatures and the summer-like storms will be on their way out tonight. The full forecast is next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
80 degrees in late February. That's where we were today in Tupelo, a new record high. Meridian 82, Birmingham 81. Wow, it was incredibly warm. Now, don't forget, tomorrow marks the 2-year anniversary of that big snowstorm we had here in North Mississippi and West Alabama. So we can actually have winter in winter, but this year it's been more summer than anything else, more spring than anything else. We can see a pretty good thunder shower here, or let's just say glorified rain shower at this point here in Chickasaw County. The lightning really going away with some of this activity, and this broken line stretches back down to the southwest. Some brief downpours, and that's probably just about it right now. As we go in and do our 3D analysis, you can see some darker reds bubbling on up here. That's that very heavy rainfall and the storm cells in general, not looking nearly as impressive as what we had about 2 hours ago. And our severe storms threats right here, all of this is showing up in green, and that means likely basically rain at this point with a little bit of thunder and lightning. So we have a cold front coming on in. You can probably know where that front is. We have that line of storms, and that cold front is going to rock our world temperature-wise here tonight, because we will be falling back to winter. There's our Futurecast model right there, the rain on the way out later tonight, and then we'll clear it out for our Saturday morning and really all day Saturday and most of the weekend, actually. Tons of sunshine here in our coverage area. Right now in Tupelo, we are still 66 degrees. Winds are now switching around to the west and northwest as this frontal boundary moves on in. And you can see that front right there into the 30s in Oklahoma City. I think tomorrow morning around here we should wake up to temperatures in the 40s. But you can see this big powerful storm system moving on through. There's a big area of low pressure up there in the Great Lakes that really spawns some severe weather to our north. But around here today, radar estimated a little bit of hail with some of these storms this evening. That's just been about it. A lot of sunshine on our Saturday, back into the mid to upper 50s. Here's our city-by-city forecast. You can see a lot of 50s here on the old temperature map for tomorrow. A little bit different than what we were talking about for today. But here's your 7-day. We're looking at some cool stuff for the weekend, but this is about average. There could be a freeze tomorrow night, so don't be forgetting about that. There could be a freeze tomorrow night. 61 on Sunday, and then some 60s and 70s early next week with some returning rain chances.
All right, an area acting troupe opens their latest production. We take a look behind the curtain after the break. Welcome back. A local high school is putting on a large-scale musical that is usually reserved for Broadway stages. WCBI's Allie Martin tells us about this year's production by the Itawamba Indian Players and how the story merges well-known fairy tale characters into a complex story.
While their classmates enjoyed a holiday for President's Day, the 50 cast and crew of the IAHS Itawamba Indian Players We're going through one more dress rehearsal. This year, the Indian Players are performing Into the Woods. The Stephen Sondheim musical brings several Brothers Grimm and other fairy tale characters together in a story with many twists, turns, and lots of music.
It's very fast, you know, there's beats and random notes that you have to hit at a random time, you know.
Erin Stanfield plays the witch. This is her 7th production with the Indian Players.
Preston, Caleb, come over here with the dwarves.
As director of the play, Victoria Blake makes sure everyone knows his or her part. She also coordinates all the other tasks that participants tackle.
They clean bathrooms and they clean dressing rooms and we vacuum and we clean outside and we just have to do everything to bring this together for the community.
For more than 20 years now, the Indian Players have staged musicals and plays at the old grammar school. In fact, over the years, proceeds from the performances have helped pay for renovations and upgrades, such as a new sound system. Students say it's exciting to know that their hard work not only brings quality productions to the area, but also helps their hometown.
And it's really entertaining. I think it is a long play and there is a lot of music, but I think a lot of people will like it, and there's not a lot of dull spots. I think they'll be entertained from start to finish.
I like this one because it's different than any play we've ever done. It's a lot more intense with how hard we've had to work on it and the things we've had to do with it, like the music and the set and everything has been really difficult. This is a great group of people, and I think that it's going to be awesome for the community to see what a group of high schoolers are actually capable of doing.
Into the Woods runs through Sunday. In Fulton, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
For showtimes and ticket information, go to our website at WCBI.com. Just stay tuned after the break and we'll have your full sports recap. Stay tuned.
Here's WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
No time to waste, no introductions. We're right into the highlights. Mississippi State taking on Indiana State. The Diamond Dogs back in action at Duty Noble. Bottom one, there's Belmont's Luke Alexander, a double to left. And score on a Cole Gordon sack fly. MSU leads 1-0 in the third. 2 men on for the Sycamores here. Connor Pilkington starting to really channel his inner Friday night starter. He looked great today, gets the strikeout, gets out of the inning unscathed. Bottom of the inning, 1 man on. Brent Rooker, look at the size of McKilt. This one's going to left center, and you are not catching it. It's over the wall. It's 2 runs on to left. Oh, yeah, Brent Rooker had 8 RBIs today. Not bad. MSU had to sweat it out again in the 9th, but they do win 11-6. Back in action tomorrow. Doubleheader starting at 1 p.m. Over to Oxford, David Parkinson dealing in game 1 against UNC Wilmington. He had a perfect game through 4. Would surrender 1 earned, 6 Ks and 6 innings pitched. So we go straight to the third. Ole Miss is already up 4-0. More to be done. Chase Cockrell sending one where it's not playable. Solo shot to left center. It's 5-0 Rebels. Fast forward to the 8th. Look at Thomas Dillard. Good grief, tomahawks it to right, and it's way out of here. Ole Miss rolls to a 7-2 win. Game 2 is tomorrow at noon. By the way, Ole Miss still undefeated, 5-0 now on the year. All right, high school girls basketball playoff action tonight. A win tonight, you're going to Jackson playing state tournament. We start with the Lady Jacks at Starkville taking on Columbus. Bria Gandy going all the way to the rim for 2, finishing through contact. Lady Jackets up big in the second half, and defense soaring. Marquesha Elliott with the steal. and she's going to go coast to coast for the bucket. Lady Jackets, another one of those teams undefeated right now. They've been looking fantastic all season long. Columbus trying to stay in it, though. Zaria Jenkins, nice spin move, jumper, good. But Columbus could never close the gap. Starkville, your winners, 55-31. They're going to go to Jackson to play in the state tournament. They're now 29-0 on the season. Over to Tupelo, the Lady Wave, motivated by a state championship picture from early 2000s as the Golden Wave taking on South Haven. Good start, Shemaya Crothers inside for the bucket, then Jalancia Colheim from the land of plenty. That's worth 3 there. Tupelo building on their lead, and then Elijah Shearer working inside on that zone for 2, and then watch this rebound inside from Shemaya Crothers. Give me that! That's mine! Back up and in. Tupelo rallied with a late deficit. They win 55-54. They're off to Jackson for the first time in 8 years. Lady Green Wave of West Point looking to advance with a win over visiting Canton, and it was all Wave early on. Amari Hurd, well, she's having a coming-out party this year for West Point. Driving the baseline, gets the bucket to go for 2. West Point strikes first. Still early in the first, though. After the missed layup here, Jamia Holling is going to clean it up and put back up and in with the hoop and the harm. West Point's rolling in the swarming defense. Tia McCrary gets the steal, and then in transition, McCrary kicks it out to Hurd. The Rainbow Triple. Point City wins at 65-33. They are going to Jackson to play in the 5A quarterfinals. And at East Webster, boy, what a game between the Lady Wolverines and East Union. Winners going to the state tournament. And early on for East Webster, Adriana Bell. She's been doing it all this year for East Webster. Gets the basket inside for 2. East Union's turn. We're tied at 2. Rayleigh Ball. She's going to get it. Great drive to the rim, finishing off glass for 2. Lady Urchins have the lead. Second quarter. East Webster's trailing. Mariah Bell on the baseline. That basket falls. East Webster would score with 3 seconds left from Jenna Pake to win at 45-43 as the Lady Wolverines are off to the state tournament in Jackson. And it was opening day for high school baseball all around the viewing area, and we were at East Webster. The Wolverines were taking out Starkville Academy. Kyle Favor hitting this one liner to center. That would score Carter Roach. It's a 1-0 lead for the Volunteers, but Starkville Academy wouldn't score after that. Bottom half went out for East Webster. Walker Johnson hitting a shot to short. The throw over to first is wide. That would score Luke Wilson from third. That would extend the lead to 3-1 for East Webster. Bottom 2 now, 1 out, bases loaded. JT Slay was walked. That would score Darius Bryant. East Webster would go on to get the win 11-1 over Starkville Academy. That's all we got for sports. Last look at your forecast coming up.
Some showers and thunder showers in the region. The stuff around here really falling apart, so we don't have to worry about it. No strong, no severe weather. The front moving on too will really cool us down. 50s for tomorrow, a freeze likely tomorrow night, 61 on Sunday, and then some warmer stuff with some rain chances as we get into next week.
So we're leaving the month of February with February temperatures.
There you go.
Alrighty, thanks for joining us, guys. We hope you have a great one. Take care.